Yeah, that makes sense, she's an alien. I am Chris with the Joshi Wrestling Recap for Stardom, May 8th, 2022, available on Stardom World. This was the final show of Stardom's Golden Week tour. There were two title matches set up, a match with a convoluted stipulation, and was headlined by a great high-speed title match. This was a multi-camera show with no commentary. We opened with a quick match between Wakasukiyama and Hina. I don't really have that much to say about this match, it was pretty basic. We started with some mat wrestling, which Hina came out on top of, and she pressed the advantage with boots and body slams. Waka did go on a bit of a run though when she hit Hana with her rope-assisted DDT, and Hina was planted right on the top of her head. Some Wakasukiyama crossbodies were followed by her weird submission where she rides the opponent while wrenching back on their arms. Waka also hit Hina with what I think was a karate chop to the neck, which I have not seen her do before. Wakasukiyama was trying to put Hina away, but she was tossed from the top corner and they traded pin attempts until Hina got the ghetto clutch locked in and the ref counted 3. Hina wins. It was very sudden, even the audience seemed surprised, almost like a feeling like, oh, I guess it's over. Wakasukiyama's journey to a victory continues. The next match on the card was a Captain's Fall 3-way battle. The rule stipulation is pretty convoluted, so I'll try to break it down. There are two main ways the team gets eliminated. The first way is if the leader of the team is eliminated. The second way is if the other two members of the team who are not the captain get eliminated. You can be eliminated via pinfall, submission, or over the top rope, and both feet touch the floor. The three teams were from Queen's Quest. We had Utami Hayashishita, Sai Kamatani, and Lady C. From Cosmic Games we had Tam Nakano, Unagi Sayaka, and Mina Shirakawa, and from Donald Del Mondo is Maika, Tekla, and Mei Sakurai. The captains of the teams were Utami Hayashishita, Tam Nakano, and Maika. This was a fun match if you turn your brain off and don't really think about it. I'll try to recap this match, but it may sound a bit all over the place because stuff kind of just always was happening. The beginning of the match was fun. Utami Hayashishita, Tam Nakano, and Maika were in the ring, and Tam did her cute pose. Utami followed suit, and Maika did also. Utami Hayashishita and Tam Nakano took exception to Maika doing Tam's cute pose, so ganged up on her. That did not last long though, and Utami and Maika picked up Tam and tried to throw her out of the ring, but she landed on the apron. Another fun spot is with Unagi Sayaka. After defecting traffic in the match, everyone got annoyed at her, so they just drop-kicked her all at the same time, including her teammates Tam Nakano and Mina Shirakawa. Unagi looked confused as to why Tam and Mina also kicked her. Tekla was the first elimination. After taking an air raid crash, a magic killer, and finally a German suplex with a bridge, Tekla was pinned and eliminated by Utami Hayashishita. Lady C was eliminated not too long after when Cosmic Angels teamed up on her, and Mina Shirakawa pinned Lady C after hitting her with an elevated DDT. Sai Kamatani was able to get a flash pin on Mei Sakurai with a Frankensteiner into a pin combination. Because Tekla and Mei Sakurai were eliminated, Donald and Mondo were out of the match. The end of the match saw Sai Kamatani and Tam Nakano battling on the apron after Saya Frankensteinered both of them over the top rope. Utami Hayashishita tries to help Sai Kamatani, but ends up hitting her instead of Tam, and Tam Nakano dropkicks Saya to the floor. Cosmic Angels win because Sai Kamatani and Lady C were eliminated from Queen's Quest. Sometimes a match type just doesn't really work. You could tell they really wanted to create a match that protected a lot of the wrestlers in it, but there is a saying, if everyone is protected, no one gets over, and this felt like that. The match was called Captain's Fall 3-way, and no captains ended up being eliminated. The ring announcer was even confused about this match and didn't announce that Cosmic Angels won until Cosmic Angels came over and told them. The third match was a trios match between Donald Del Mondo and Godzai. For Donald Del Mondo we had Julia, Himeka, and Nazapoi versus from Godzai, Suri, Mirai, and Amisure. These two factions had fought a few days earlier on the 5th of May, but that was an elimination match, and this was just a regular trios match. This match was pretty hard hitting, and it looks like there were a couple hints about what may be next for these groups. Mirai and Julia started for their teams and grappled to a draw, neither getting the advantage before tagging out. Natsupoi and Shuri were next, and Natsupoi got beat up by Godzai a bit, taking kicks and body slams. Natsupoi was able to tag in Himeka after she hit a flipping neckbreaker on Emisore. Now it was time for the obligatory shoulder tackle battle between Emisore and Himeka. Himeka got the final shoulder tackle, and Donald Mondo ran into triple team Emisore. A Death Valley driver by Emisore gave her the time she needed to take in Shuri, who proceeded to trade stiff elbows with Julia. The back part of this match was Mirai versus Himeka. Mirai took a lot of punishment from Donald Mondo in this match, suplexes by Natsupoi off the second rope, a torture rack by Himeka, and a top corner dropkick by Julia, but Mirai has soul, so always gets back up. Himeka and Mirai proceeded to trade lariats. A lot of lariats, and time was called shortly after. Time limit draw. Mirai and Himeka's section and reaction after the match felt like a hint they may be feuding soon, while Julia pointed to Shuri's waist, letting her know she still wants to take the Wonder of Stardom red belt from her. It'll probably be a while before that match happens though. The next match on the card was a fun faction versus faction battle between Stars and Erotai. Representing Odotai was Starlight Kid, Momo Watanabe, Hiroaka, Saki Kashima, and Rina. Stars was Mei Iwatani, Hazuki, Hanan, Momo Kogo, and Sai Ida. A match between the Dorks of Stardom, Stars, and the Delinquents of Stardom, Odotai. Saki Kashima called out Mei Iwatani to start, then congratulated her for being a Stardom Grand Slam champion and extended her hand. Mei knows Saki enough to not trust her handshakes, so reversed it into a suplex. Stars then ran in and chaos ensued. Odotai was laid up on the ground and Stars proceeded to step on them in a line, and Sai Ida put her full weight on her steps, and synchronized dropkicks from Stars cleared the ring. Momokogo was tagged in and hugged Saki Kashima before applying a chokehold. I wonder if this is a new thing Momokogo is going to do, be friendly to her opponents. A bit later she seemed to say something positive about Starlight Kid as Starlight Kid was harassing her. Momokogo was able to tag out after she hit Momo Watanabe with the 619. Thankfully for me, both Momos weren't against each other for long and Hazuki came in. Hazuki and Momo Watanabe had a quick but hard-hitting section against each other, lots of kicks, boots, and knees, before both tagged out. Saida and Rina got their first action in the match towards the end. Rina was getting the better of Saida with her double knee attacks after Odotai ran in to beat up Saya. But she missed a top corner double knee drop, and after that Saida was in control. A power bomb was followed by a spinning brainbuster, and Saida pinned Rina, while the rest of Stars kept Odotai busy on the outside for the victory. After the match, Saki Kashima got on the mic and laid down a challenge for the SWA title. But not for her though, but for Fukigen Death. Mei Iwatani says she can't challenge since she is Japanese and the SWA title can only be defended against somebody from a different nationality than the champ. Saki then stated that Fukigen Death is an alien, so she qualifies. Mei thought about it and agreed Fukigen Death may be an alien, so gave her a title shot. That match will happen on May 28th at the Flashing Champions show. That brings us to the main event, a high-speed title match between champion Azumi and challenger Kaguma. This was surprisingly Azumi's first time in a title match that headlined a show. Considering she has been wrestling over 7 years, that is saying something. This was a great high-speed match, which means it was full of too fast to call action, but was also different from the matches she had previously had with the title. Both wrestlers came into this match with a strategy. Azumi's strategy was to target Kaguma's arm, while Kaguma was to try and frustrate Azumi. Kaguma put her plan into action from the start when she tried to get Azumi to do the Kuma pose, which she refused to do. Kaguma then ran out of the ring and Azumi caught her. This time Kaguma is trying to forcefully make Azumi do the Kuma pose, and Azumi ran away through the crowd. Back in the ring, some high-speed action was followed by a Kuma clutch and Kuma stomps. After this barrage of Kuma moves, Azumi grabbed Kaguma's arm and jumped from the top corner to stomp on it. That is when Azumi's plan started. Throughout the rest of the match, Azumi targeted Kaguma's arm with kicks, arm wringers, double stomps, and submission holds. The match went in and out of the ring, and Kaguma surprisingly did the high spot of the match when she jumped from the corner post to the outside to crossbody Azumi. Kaguma then got Azumi back in the ring and missed with her flying splash. That was Kaguma's best chance. Azumi was in control for most of the rest of the match, but Kaguma did a great job of reversing pin attempts and escaping submission holds until she couldn't anymore. Azumi got Kaguma in the numero uno armbar submission, and Kaguma had nowhere to go and submitted. Azumi retains for her third defense. After the match, Azumi says she wants to fight Kaguma again. Kaguma responded that the next time they are in Nagoya, they will do something together, and left before Azumi could say anything. It sounds like it may be a special tag match. Azumi did say she wants to team with Mei Suruga at some point, so maybe it will happen then, but that is just speculation on my part. After Kaguma left, the next challenge for the high-speed title came out Tekla. Tekla challenged for the title and Azumi agreed, and said it will happen on the 28th during the Flashing Champions event. And that was the show. It was a good card, and I really recommend the main event title match, and the Stars vs. Odotai match was fun. After this, Stardom goes back to their regular schedule of 1 to 2 shows a week, so I am grateful for that. Having a month's worth of shows in a week and a half over Golden Week was a bit much for me. The next Stardom show is the second New Blood show, which is meant to highlight some up-and-coming wrestlers from Stardom and other promotions on the 13th. This has been the Joshi Wrestling Recap for Stardom May 8th, 2022. Thanks for listening.